Tom Downey here for Minnesota Vikings Now with today's show presented by Aura, the all-in-one digital safety tool, and they're offering you a free 14-day trial when you head over to aura.com/chatsports. More on them later on in today's show, including mainly some minicamp news and notes. And if you want minicamp winners and losers, potentially as soon as tomorrow, you have to like this video. The bosses aren't sure you guys care about minicamp at all. I do. I think you guys do, but I need to prove it to them. We need 250 likes. So if you want minicamp winners and losers, show me that you do. Show my bosses that you do by liking the video right now. Let's talk Garrett Bradbury now, as the situation involving him remains what it's been as of late. I know many of you would like to move on from him, but that is not the status of the Vikings' number one center. Bradbury is getting all of the first-team reps at the position so far, both in OTAs and in the first day completed of minicamp. To be clear, he is the clear-cut starter at center. It is, in reality, do-or-die time for Bradbury. I will make note that among others, Chris Reed has gotten the most snaps as the backup center at number 2. Have been a couple for Jesse Davis and Austin Schlottmann when he's been healthy, but it has been Bradbury and then Reed at the center positions, with Bradbury clearly the guy. Here's what offensive line coach Chris Kuper had to say about could there be a competition? Quote, "They're all pushing each other. Garrett's taken every rep with the ones. He's been doing a great job. Those things get sorted out when we get on pads in camp, or get pads on in camp." Excuse me. Reading is apparently tough for me today. Now, Bradbury hasn't been the first-round pick level talent he was supposed to be coming out of NC State. He got beat way too much in pass protection and did not hold up as well as he needs to in the run game. But I do think Bradbury's a perfect fit for what Kevin O'Connell wants to do on the offensive line with the scheme. But it is now or never. If he doesn't play great this season, Minnesota will have a new center next year. So Bradbury is in line to start. We'll get to the right guard battle later on in today's show. I think Reed and Davis both make this roster at minimum, lead to some weird numbers game. But clearly, Garrett Bradbury is the guy right now at center. Barring a change, he's going to start week 1. And it would be a pretty seismic change at this point. So I want you to be honest. It's a safe space for you to be mean, be nice, be a hater, be a truther. Either way, do you trust Garrett Bradbury? Y for yes, N for no. This is the pinned comment on today's video. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. Y for yes or N for no. Couple injury notes I want to get to here. 2 Vikings not spotted at minicamp today. Austin Schlottmann and Vederian Lowe. Unclear why those 2 weren't out there. Other players working on the side or off, not or limited, kind of with injuries, various injuries. Nate Stanley, the quarterback. 2 tight ends, Ihmir Smith, Johnny Mundt. More on those 2 in the tight end spot coming up in a minute here. 3 notable receivers, Blake Proehl, Ihmir Smith-Marsette, who, by the way, is in a boot. Still in a boot. He's going to be out for a little bit longer. KJ Osborn did work off to the side. And the only defensive player, Ryan Connelly at linebacker. Let's go to receiver, because there's a lot to unpack here. Obviously, Justin Jefferson, Adam Thielen. More on him in a second. That duo is dynamic in every sense of the word. So with KJ Osborn a bit banged up, Ihmir Smith-Marsette banged up, and Blake Proehl banged up, Minnesota added Albert Wilson. But B.C. Johnson, who I think currently is in line to be wide receiver 4, is wide receiver 3. He's been getting those reps when the Vikings go to 3 receiver sets, 11 personnel, etc., because of the other injuries at wide receiver. That's a big deal for B.C. Johnson. It gives him a chance to flash and prove he is worthy of at least a roster, but if not a bigger role for Minnesota in 2022. Tight end, meanwhile, the top 2 guys working their way back from injury, namely Ihmir Smith, Johnny Mundt as well. With those 2 out, the tight end room in Minnesota is the worst in the NFL. Ben Ellefson wasn't good for Jacksonville. Then they've got some day 3 draft picks. Nick Muse from South Carolina, first-year player, very late-round pick. And 5th-round pick last year, Zach Davidson. Pretty quiet on his front from the media reports coming out of OTAs and minicamp, but should be more reps for him. 5th-round pick, got the size you want, 6'7", huge frame, can add more weight if you want. I would like it if Davidson, through minicamp, through training camp, through the preseason, could have a big-time breakout year. Remains to be seen that actually ends up happening, though. Aura, the presenting sponsor of today's show, it's the #1 safety tool out there for your identity and financial information. They offer protection for that and online and device security. If you're like me, God forbid your phone gets compromised, all your passwords are gone. They're all going to be hacked. Aura is offering you a 14-day free trial to help you stop hackers and having your information end up in the dark web at aura.com/chatsports. That link is in the comment section and in the description. They also offer, by the way, family plans for up to 5 people. Perfect if you're like me and you have a wife and kid and you want to make sure all their information is safe online. And if you don't have that, if you're like producer Jack and you just have a couple cats at home, it's okay. You can just use the individual plan from Aura. 14-day free trial at aura.com/chatsports. That link, folks, will be in the comment section, and it will be in the description as well. Let's talk to Danielle Hunter, who is very excited, it would appear, with the new Vikings defensive scheme. Offensive linebackers coach Mike Smith called him a kid in a candy shop. With the new scheme, there's going to be a lot more movement along the fronts. Hunters will have some rushes from both ends and even over guards and centers. And when you are as dynamic as Hunter is, I think that's a good idea. Now, I will make note that Christian Darrisaw has said he's gone up more against Hunter than Vederian Smith, so maybe more right side reps for Hunter than what he's had in the past. When he has been healthy, he has almost averaged a sack per game, which is an insane number to think about. That is so rare over a 4-year sample size to have well over a tackle for loss per game and almost a sack per game. That is pretty unbelievable numbers. What it really comes down to is how healthy will Hunter be in 2022? As part of that, I guess, question, here's one for you. How many sacks will Hunter have this upcoming season? When he's out there, he is one of the best defensive ends in the NFL, being more of a 3-4 edge. He's a pass rusher in the end. Make your predictions. How many sacks for Hunter this season? While you're down there, by the way, make sure you guys are subscribed to us here at Minnesota Vikings Now. Free Vikings videos on the regular. No reason not to sub. Hit that big red button right now. As promised, back to the right guard battle. More of the same after the OTA takeaways. Jesse Davis has been getting the majority of the first team reps at right guard, which is interesting because you've got some guys fighting for that role, right? Ezra Cleveland's locked in at left guard. In theory, second-round pick Ed Ingram should emerge soon, but he is working mainly on the left side. Chris Reed is the number 2, also getting center reps beyond a right guard. And Wyatt Davis is the third stringer right now. You don't love to see that. So you've got really 4 options at right guard. I think that Wyatt Davis is in the worst position. We've had that conversation before. So who starts at right guard? Type in CR for Chris Reed, JD for Jesse Davis, EI for Ed Ingram, and WD for Wyatt Davis. Make your predictions for week 1 right now in the comments section. You can make a real argument that the best player so far has actually been Adam Thielen, even better than Justin Jefferson, who we know is also a star. Every time I see a report of big play from minicamp OTAs, it's Thielen. A bunch of highlight reel plays from the receiver who did not put up the normal year we're accustomed to. Only 726 yards. That is far lower than what Adam Thielen historically has done in his time in the NFL. Injuries, a part of that, played in only 13 games. 2019 was the last time he was below 900, and that was also because of injury. He has been basically a 1,000-yard receiver since he became a starter back in 2016. He had 967 and 10 starts that year. I think we will see Thielen back above the 1,000-yard mark this year for Minnesota.